Okay, welcome into our latest Swampcast. We do these every once in a while, of course, after games and before games, but as last season ended, we did several of them, Robbie, and we're going to do it again going into spring.
Pre-spring, baby.
Spring is almost sprung.
Yeah, almost here. Hard to believe it
When
got
do they
here
start?
quick.
What day do they start? On the
March
16th,
I think.
16th. So
A week from Monday.
what we're going to do is, well, not according to when this runs.
Oh, yeah.
Golly, you don't have a sense
Okay,
of timing.
March 16th.
Okay, so what we're going to do is break it up into 3 segments. So you can watch one and go to get something to eat, come back, watch another, or you could not watch any of them. But
And like the other one we did, we'll be wearing the same clothes.
yes,
We go home and wash them every night and come back the next day.
But people seem to like that, so hopefully they'll like this too. Today we're going to do offense. So what we're looking at is what Florida needs to get done in spring football as far as the offense goes, and then we'll do defense, and then we're going to do one on the schedule going into next year. So first of all, with offense, Robbie, one of the things that's going to be interesting to me is kind of convincing Emory Jones this thing is going to work.
Yeah, that you belong and you're going to be a big part of it. And, Mullen and those guys are like Florida fans everywhere. They're sitting there going, what do we have to do to make sure Emory plays enough, stays happy? Because he's the quarterback next year.
And he's also got to know that the plan, here's the plan.
Yeah.
I see a plan that's going to work for me.
Yeah, and last year there really was no plan. He kind of put him in when he felt like it was a good time to do it. I think they need a more set plan like they did with Tebow and Leak. I mean, that was a real set plan, and Tebow excelled in it and then took over the next year, and I think that's what they would like to do now.
Yeah, but the other problem is, though, when you get into a game and all of a sudden you've got 6 possessions,
Yeah.
and you're not going to take out your all-SEC quarterback, which Kyle Trask probably will be. He'll be in
Preseason, anyhow.
Preseason, yeah. So that's the issue you have there. But I think at least during the spring, you need to have Emory Jones ready to be the starter.
And they need to let him throw the ball too.
Right.
Throw on first time because he has a great arm, and everybody says in practice very accurate and going to be a really good passer for him. So turn him loose a little bit.
And that's the thing with this offense. It's got a chance to be more dynamic than last year.
It does.
But again, a lot of it depends on some other things, which brings us to the second one, which is Florida's got to find. Usually you go into battle with 7 or 8 offensive linemen that you can count on, you trust, you believe in. They got to find who those guys are. You need to come out of spring knowing who those 7 or 8 guys are.
In fact, they've got numbers now, but they don't have a lot of experience there.
Right.
And I think a lot depends on these, the 4 freshmen that redshirted this year, and then the 3 early enrollees. I mean, this is going to be an important spring for those guys, getting to know the offense and see if they can contribute a little bit.
But that's the thing; they're going to have to beat out somebody because obviously you got 4 starters coming back. Guys who did well at the end of the year, Ethan White, and Garage played well as the season went along. So, and then along with Heggie,
DeLance and Forsythe.
I mean, there's experience there. Now, I always joke about how when we're voting on all SEC offensive lines or all anything offensive lines, like if you've heard of the guy, he's still there. I'll put him in there. You really don't know. But we do know what we saw last year, and that was a team that couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
They can't get away with that.
No,
they might be able to win 10 games not running the ball, but that's not what they want this year.
No, they need to be balanced and get the play action pass going and things like that. If you can't run the ball, you just can't. You're not going to repeat what you did last year if you can't run the ball.
You've got to be able to run it, and again, and when you bring the quarterback run in, again, this goes back to Emory Jones.
Yeah.
It makes the offense a little more explosive.
It loosens it up.
Number 3 for us, they need to keep Kyle humming, which means Kyle Trask needs to continue the momentum he built up at the end of last year, where he was, even though he was throwing too much, they had no choice. He's kind of got to get away from throws that should have been picks.
Yeah.
That luckily for him they weren't, because they bounced off a guy's hand. So all that stuff is fine tuning kind of Kyle Trask.
And the best thing they can do for him, Pat, is run the ball. I mean, then you bring the play action pass into play, and keeping teams off balance. They couldn't put teams off balance last year. Everybody knew they were going to throw. If they can run the ball, it's going to make Trask a much more efficient quarterback.
And the bottom line is, this is the first time he's ever gone into the spring knowing he's the guy.
He's the guy, yeah.
So this will be an interesting dynamic. I'm curious to see what Dan has to say about how he's done. And then, of course, number 4 is find a number 1 back. Now,
it all ties together, doesn't it?
It's very complicated, though, with this, Robbie, because we don't know if Lingard's going to be eligible. We don't know if they're going to get this recruit Evans.
Yeah, Zachary Evans.
Are they going to be, who's going to be? You've got Damian Pierce. Here's the thing: if they get Zachary Evans, probably one of their running backs is going to leave.
You would think,
because
they've got numbers there.
So, but you would like to come out of the spring going, okay, here's the guy. Here's the guy we give it to on 3rd and 1. Here's the guy we do. And again, they're going to rotate guys, but
who's your 3 down back though? Like P. Ryan, were you keeping there
Exactly.
for passing situations?
Yeah.
That's where he was so valuable to this team.
Do they have a guy who can catch like P. Ryan?
I think Pierce has a chance to be that guy, and I think that he goes in the spring as the number 1 guy because you don't know about Lingard whether he will be playing in the fall. So to me, Pierce is a guy that starts out number 1, see where he takes it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. How much do you rep Lingard, not knowing if he's eligible? But he also has had a year off, so he needs the
work. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we think ought to happen for Florida with it, and I'm sure the coaches have different ideas than what we have. But when we've tried to talk and they haven't listened to us, it's not worked out for them.
Yeah, they don't approve our game plan usually.
No, not so far. All right, so that is our offense. Look at the offense. It says, again, like I said earlier, I think this offense has a chance to be dynamic. We know what Kyle Pitts is going to give them. We know that they're still good at receiver. The guys got to step up. But the biggest question still, the offensive line, can they block? Can they open holes?
Can they run the ball?
Can they run the ball? All right, so that's the offense. We'll come back with our next video in just a little bit. Well, we'll do it right away, but you may not watch it till right away. But it's going to be about the defense, the things that Florida needs to do in spring football defensively. This is Pat Dooley. That's Robbie Andreu. We're the Gainesville Sun.